All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
It's great to be back.
So, today we're looking at what we're calling it the worst advice ever given.
Yeah, I mean, some of these are really, really bad.
So bad. But you guys sent these in.
You did.
And, I was thinking, I was like, why? Like, what's the appeal?
Yeah. Why?
And I'm kind of like, okay, maybe you guys are looking for, like, some funny anecdotes.
Maybe you're writing a speech.
Yeah, for, like, a graduation speech or something.
Yeah, a speech on, like, how to make decisions or how to not make decisions.
Exactly. Or maybe you just, like, want to feel a little bit better about, the bad advice you've received.
If got alone?
Yeah. Because I think we've all gotten some doozies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, that's what we're diving into. And some of these are just like, I don't even know where to begin.
I know, right?
Like, spend all your money on lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. We all dream of winning the lottery.
Sure, of course. Who doesn't?
But statistically, that is just, like, setting yourself up for, like, a world of hurt.
Yeah. It's statistically improbable. And you could just see, it just encourages bad behavior.
Totally.
It encourages really risky behavior.
Yeah. Like, come on, be smart about your money.
Yeah. There are better ways to grow your wealth.
Exactly. Okay, this one really made me laugh. Start a fire if you're lost in the woods.
Oh, boy.
Now, I'm all about, like, being resourceful and, like, if you're in a survival situation, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But this just seems like, a recipe for disaster.
Right. Like, are you trying to start a forest fire? Because that's how you do it.
Yeah. And I can just, like, imagine the headlines, lost hiker accidentally creates wildfire.
Yeah. It's like, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Totally, totally. And, I think it speaks to, like, a bigger point about this bad advice.
Okay.
It often lacks context. Like, I'm sure there are situations where, like, starting a fire in the woods is, like, a valid survival tactic.
Absolutely.
But, without, like, proper knowledge and skills, it can just backfire so easily.
And most people don't have those skills. They don't know how to build the fire safely.
Right. Yeah, they don't know how to, like, contain it.
They don't know what to
Make sure it's not going to spread. Like, there's a whole science to it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, this one hits close to home. Ignore expiration dates. They're just suggestions. Oh, no. I wish.
Please don't.
Oh, I've learned this lesson the hard way so many times.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. Back in college, you're living on a budget.
Right.
You're trying to stretch every dollar.
Yeah, ramen noodles.
Yeah, you're eating ramen noodles and, like, whatever's the back of the fridge.
That week-old yogurt.
Oh, the week-old yogurt. Let's just say, like, that is not a friend to your digestive system.
You know what? Sometimes, though, those expiration dates are a little, I think they err on the side of caution.
You think so?
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're probably okay.
Maybe.
It depends on what it is.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
But yeah, I don't recommend it.
I would say, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we're going through these, like, it really makes you realize how important it is to, like, think critically about the advice we receive.
Yeah, be an active participant in your own life.
Yeah. Like, don't just blindly follow what someone tells you, even if they seem like they know what they're talking about.
Because sometimes they don't. And that's why it's so important to actually be able to assess, does this make sense for me?
Exactly.
Does this make sense for my situation?
Right, and we're bombarded with advice all the time.
From every direction.
From every direction. Friends, family.
Social media.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's got an opinion.
Everyone's an expert these days.
So it's like, developing that internal filter.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah. And that's really the key takeaway I think we want to leave people with.
Totally. Okay, let's move on to some advice that's, like, a little bit more nuanced.
Yeah.
It's not as, like, obviously bad.
Yeah, sure.
But it still, like, makes you think, okay, this one, always follow your heart, even if it leads you to the donut shop.
Okay. I mean, I love donuts.
I love donuts too. But, like, is that always the best advice?
Yeah.
I mean, we all have to make tough decisions.
I do.
And sometimes, like, following your heart might lead you down a path that's not, like, the most practical.
Or the healthiest.
Or the healthiest.
Or the safest.
Yeah. Or the safest even. So what do you think? Like, how do you balance, like, following your passion with, like, being responsible?
Well, I think it's important to acknowledge that this piece of advice, like many others, it oversimplifies a complex situation. It sounds good on the surface. It's appealing. We all want to be passionate.
Right. We all want to follow our dreams.
Yeah.
but it completely ignores the potential consequences.
Yeah.
And sometimes those consequences can be really significant.
Okay, so maybe follow your heart to the donut shop, but like maybe not every day.
Exactly. Moderation.
Moderation.
Balance.
Balance. That's the key.
Okay, here's another one that I think a lot of people have probably heard and maybe even given themselves. Fake it till you make it.
Ooh, that is a tricky one.
Right. Because on the one hand, I can see how like a little bit of faking it can boost your confidence.
Yeah, confidence is important.
Yeah. Especially if you're like in a new situation or like trying something new, but like, where's the line?
Where's the ethical line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, when does faking it become like straight up dishonesty?
Right. I think it really depends on the situation. Like if you're giving yourself a pep talk in the mirror before a big presentation,
Right.
I think we've all done that. You're like, you got this. You can do this. That's okay.
Yeah. You're like, I am powerful.
I am powerful. I'm going to crush it.
Yeah.
That's faking it in a positive way.
Yeah. You're like projecting confidence that maybe you don't fully feel yet.
Exactly. But if you're going into a job interview and you're lying about your qualifications,
Oh, yeah. No, that's not good.
that's not okay. And potentially harmful.
Right. Because like people are relying on you,
Exactly.
to have
Yeah.
those skills and knowledge.
So intent is really important here, and context.
Context.
It's really important to understand, like, what is the situation and what are the potential ramifications of my actions?
So yeah, it all comes back to like that critical thinking,
Always.
thinking for ourselves,
Yes.
weighing the pros and cons, the potential consequences, and, really just making the best decision for ourselves and for those around us.
Yeah. Don't just take what someone says at face value.
Right. Question everything.
Yeah. Especially advice.
Exactly. Even this advice.
Especially this advice.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, kind of like walk through the hall of bad advice.
Mm-hmm.
And, I hope it makes you think a little bit about the advice you've received, the advice you give, and, maybe even inspire you to like come up with your own like worst advice ever list.
Yeah. And be careful who you take advice from.
Yeah, exactly. That's all for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Lucas,